We are back in the sanctuary with Dan Kwong, and he's among other things giving us an amazing sense of what this building was. You can only see a fraction of it right now, which is intertwined with his journey and path as an artist and the development of 18th Street. I want to just backtrack for a moment when you're talking about jumping in the deep end and, feeling like if you had that fear, you needed to do something, and you needed to go there with a capital T. Did you feel at all purpose-driven in terms of, what you had discovered you wanted to say, your identity? Was that something that helped you overcome the fear and drove you kind of like an engine through this process? Or do you think it was a mix of just your personality, just wanting to go and create, and then really having the medium that you were building, and also having the stories, and they came out of a very deep life experience and identity and knowledge? I think it's knowledge-based, it seems.
I came from a family that was sort of an oddball family. Chinese immigrant father, Japanese American mother. Okay, right there, that made us weird. I'm a baby boomer.
Right.
And there were no Chinese, Japanese
Fascinating.
kids that I knew. So, okay, we're weird that way. Oh, we're artists, we're weird that way. We're low income, oh, we're weird that way. Oh, my parents divorced, we're weird that way.
Right.
So everything about my upbringing was outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
We had no sanctuary. Well,
Right.
the house was sanctuary.
You had to figure it out.
And you had to figure it out, and you had to make it up. You had to invent your life because you didn't fit anything.
Right.
So the idea of invention, of being in uncharted territory was very familiar to me. To okay,
Gave you.
I'm in nowhere, let's make
Right.
it work.
Right.
So that aspect was something I grew up with. I'm a fish out of water. I knew that very well. So there's certain things about the situation I found myself in as a developing artist that were right in line with my whole life.
Right.
I'm always inventing myself.
Right.
I'm always making it up. I'm always figuring it out on the spot. So that was familiar. The fear part, I think that's, overcoming it, I think that's part of my evolution just as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Making decisions as an adult, you know what?
Hi there.
Deciding that I deliberately want to do the things that scare me. I don't want.
It gives you a sense of control, like you're making the decision. You're not being buffeted. Right.
I don't want to let fear stop me.
Right.
And I have a million fears. I'm afraid all the time. I don't necessarily show it, but it's running in my head.
Right. You have quite a calm demeanor, and I think people respond to you in that way.
It fools everybody. They think, oh, Dan, you're so mellow. And it's like, oh, you should get inside my head. There's a circus going on inside here.
Right.
But so I think that's part in terms of dealing with doing scary things. Part of it is sort of on principle.
Mm-hmm.
It's on principle.
Right.
I want to do the things that I think I can't.
Right.
And I want to enjoy my life.
Right.
So that means I want to develop an attitude and an approach towards challenges that is not torturous.
Right. That's fascinating.
Yeah. I have a strong commitment to enjoying life. I have a deep commitment to having a good time. And
you must really enjoy your work.
Oh God, I love what I do. People sometimes, this is a funny, so I do dating apps, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes a woman...
You're a modern creature.
Yeah, well, a woman will say, well, so are you retired?
Oh gosh, yes.
And I was like, no, don't see why I would ever retire. I love
Right.
what I do.
Right.
Why would I ever want to stop doing this?
And the more you do what you do, you seem in really good physical shape. The more you're doing it, the more you have to work with, both in subject matter, but also the skills.
Yeah, that is the great thing about aging, is hopefully you get smarter and you acquire more knowledge and more skill. Physically, my health is an issue. I had a heart attack and a double bypass surgery earlier this year.
It's hard to remember that, Dan, because you're so youthful.
That was 7 months ago.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
And I'm a very active, very physical person, and I'm dealing with back issues right now.
Right.
So the reality of my physical body aging is definitely in my consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll put in some work.
Well, I'm going to see the doctor tomorrow.
I mean, it might become thematic in some of your works.
That would be a great topic for a performance. I think I'm 71 years old now, and so you think about different things.
Sure.
At this time of life, you think like, oh gee, where's the end of the road? That's not that far away, And so you think about time differently.
Right.
You think about priorities differently. Family is really important to me.
Yeah.
Personal connection is really important
Yeah.
to me, and so is my career.
Right.
So 18th Street has gone through its own growth
Right.
arc, and now it's sort of an institution. And that comes with advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
There's more resource here. There's more stability here.
Right.
And there's also more bureaucracy in a certain way. And I love this place. I love the people who work here.
Yes.
I have good relationships with people here. So, to me, this is this is the best place I could be right now, and it continues to be.
Yes, it's there's I just find it also continuing to abide by that ethos, if that's the way of putting it, of experimentation, just being able to put up this this structure, and being able to kind of present it as a show. And I have a few questions to ask you about that, but I'm curious about if your parents were able to see your work blossom, and what their response was.
My mom passed in 2010, my dad passed in 2016, so they both had a chance to see my work quite a bit. And they were both incredibly appreciative and supportive.
Oh, how wonderful.
Really blessed.
Understood
to have
it.
a supportive family.
Yes.
That
yes.
they were not traditional in the sense of, you did a good job.
Right. Be an accountant or what have you, that's the classic.
They were not traditional at all in that sense, and especially as Asian American parents, they were like, you do whatever you want to do.
Right. And that's where as you term it, the unusualness of your upbringing kind of quote unquote paid off.
That was a blessing, a real blessing.
A blessing.
And I'm so grateful for the family that I have had, and still have. My 3 sisters.
Yes, they seem amazing too.
Yeah. So, and I think that gratitude is something I find coming more and more easily to me as time goes by. Like, oh, you know what? I'm glad I had that.
Yes.
I'm glad that happened.
And you see the pattern in a way.
Yeah,
maybe.
and I see
how it works together.
Yeah, and find like, okay, to appreciate what you have and not what you don't have.
Right.
To appreciate who you are, not grieve over who you are not.
Right.
And all those are things. They're really kind of cliches.
No, not
but
at
they're
all.
happening to me very organically.
Yeah.
I find more and more and more, and that's a wonderful thing. Another wonderful thing about aging. You don't have to wait so long.
Giving everybody hope.
You don't have to wait so long, but it's here, and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
And because you're appreciative of what you have, it doesn't mean you're not fighting for justice, doesn't mean you're not
Right.
caring about others. I mean, you can hold
Right.
both of those things
I think
together.
so. I think so, and I think
And have
that
them
it's,
strengthen each other.
it's a bit of a paradox to
Right.
to be pleased and yet never satisfied.
Right.
You know, that is sort of an ethos, as you say. To be always be pleased has to do with the moment that you
Yes.
are in right now.
An appreciation of that.
Yeah, and to never be satisfied means you're always reaching. There's
Right.
always more. That's the future.
Right.
That's the future potential. So always pleased, never satisfied. I think is a very sound basis for moving
is
through the world.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me ask you just a little bit. The camera's going to be jumping around. I'm just going to do a little pan. Can you just give me a little bit of feedback about how you feel? Your red is being set off beautifully by the black background. How you feel in this space that started out without the roof being an indication of not having a safe place, K space NO space W, safe place, and then with the roof has transformed into sanctuary to no safe space. Place and space are interrelated, they're not exactly the same, but with no holds barred, you can maybe tell me how you feel.
I love the textures. Not only how they feel under my fingers, but also how they respond to the light.
Yeah.
And personally, I like enclosed spaces. I have the opposite of claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm.
I like enclosed spaces. So to be held, to be contained is very comforting to me.
Right.
So I find it very comforting. And I love what you did to this chair.
That was an earlier piece. It's called the Speakeasy Chair, and it's covered with typewriter tape emulsion.
Oh, well.
So I glued the typewriter tape on, and the letters, the emulsion kind of formed the letters, or you see the letters in the negative, I guess you would say.
Yeah, well, I love what you did to the back of the chair because it becomes very kind of springy.
Well, it's kind of like what you said. It was one of my dining room chairs back in the day, and the top, the connector piece popped off. And it was still functional as a chair, so.
I would enjoy this if it was completely, like if there was a front and a back. I would enjoy this if it was like a completely
meditation, right.
space. And then I love the colored yarn hanging around it. Again, it's sort of the way that it activates the space.
Right.
I like hanging things.
Yeah.
In my studio, there's lots of hanging things, and it's sort of it activates the air around you and the space around you.
Because they do move around a little bit, and the color animates the black and is in contrast with it.
Yes. So I have questions about how you make this. Are these glued on?
Everything's glued.
They're glued
Yeah.
on. Okay.
All the string, and it's a piece of canvas, and then I used mainly black materials to kind of transform the surface. And I had the idea of creating, a space with the three where all would have to be would be slung over this dowel, and the dowel could be hung. So I'm very interested in how do you create a space and a place in the most minimal way. There's a lot of work, of course, in the treatment of it, but there's open spaces.
It's very simple, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And how do we create the space in our mind? You were saying you love to be in enclosed spaces where a lot of people are, get claustrophobic. They don't want to be in a closet, but then others will go into a meditation sort of cubicle, and see those boundaries as keeping the outside world more at bay so that they can concentrate and sort of hear themselves think,
Well, I have a theory about this. I think it has to do with my experience in the womb.
Ah,
I think I had a really good time in the
yes. Well, your mom sounds great.
womb. I think I had a really good experience in there, so it's like to be enclosed, it's like, yeah, this is nice.
Yes.
I don't feel like, let me out of here. Like, oh, this is very cozy.
Dan, it's just been such a pleasure I'll have to show you my womb piece in the studio. I have a piece called The Womb. It's not made out of the materials you might imagine. But I feel very honored to have been able to spend this time with you. I feel like it's a real chronicle of your evolution of a time and space and of 18th Street. And I think I share the feeling of everybody here, staff, visitor, and local artist in residence alike, that we're so thrilled that you're here. And thank
Thrilled to
you.
be here.
May you know safe space.